Page 6 now, victory for the Bill of Rights at the U.S. Supreme Court. The case Carpenter versus the United States. The issue whether police can gather your private cell phone data without a warrant. 4 justices said, yes, it's fine. 5, the majority, said no. It's a violation of the 4th Amendment.
Chief Justice John Roberts, who wrote the decision, said it has no bearing on traditional surveillance techniques such as security cameras or on data collection for national security. It also allows police to obtain cell data without a warrant in emergency situations.
Interesting. Chief Justice Roberts sided with the liberal justices in the majority. Solid constitutionalists Thomas, Alito, and Gorsuch, and the flip-flopping Kennedy all dissented. Joining me now, the founder of the American Truth Project and Daily Ledger contributor, Barry Nussbaum. Barry, hell can freeze over now because I happen to agree with the ACLU on this one, and I oppose Clarence Thomas. I don't think that's ever happened before, at least for me. I love Clarence Thomas. But his argument was, and the dissent was largely, that this data didn't belong to Carpenter.
I always find it interesting when the Supreme Court finds some little detail and they pounce on that and ignore the bigger picture. I'm with you on this one, Graham. I'm proud of John Roberts for crossing over to the, quote, liberal side in favor of privacy. I don't think we have enough, and I don't think we can do enough to protect privacy. Look, the court said you can still get a warrant, and if it's an emergency, you don't even need the warrant. So it's not a big step, but it's an important step.
And it's a warning shot, I think, to the federal government. Hey, you know what? You need to get a warrant. You can't just spy on Americans without a warrant. I think this is an important ruling. And speaking of court, we have Planned Parenthood in a mild panic right now because they're witnessing what the 45th president is doing, a pro-life president pushing a pro-life agenda.
You know, this is an interesting case, Graham. Trump wasn't cutting off funding for abortions. What he's doing is pushing educational programs, and the way Planned Parenthood is fighting back against these programs that are supposed to enhance teen pregnancy prevention by educational programs is saying, hey, they're not tested enough, so let's not do it. I think Trump's right. I think the case is wrong, and there ought to be more education. I think too many kids are getting pregnant without the education as to what they could have done to prevent it. And more education is a good thing, in my opinion.
Well, I'm one of those dinosaurs, Barry, that believes the federal government has no role in family planning whatsoever. But what do I know? I do know this, that the world, and especially the United States, has lost the great conservative thinker, I think, of our time, and that's Charles Krauthammer.
I am so sad about his passing. He was literally one of the great minds of recent American history, and literally everybody would sit and listen to Charles Krauthammer. There's a quote from him that I'd love to share with your viewers today, Graham. Krauthammer said, America is the only country ever founded on an idea, the only country not founded on race, or even common history. It's founded on an idea, and the idea is liberty. That is probably the rarest phenomenon in the political history of the world. This has never happened before, and not only has it happened, but it's worked. We are the most flourishing, the most powerful, the most influential country on earth with this system invented by the greatest political geniuses probably in human history.
Yep.
And that is why Charles Krauthammer was loved by so many.
And the interesting thing is, you know, he supported Walter Mondale back in the 80s, and then he did a little research. You know, he's young and dumb, as I was at one point, and he did some research. He looked into the Great Society and realized it was a great failure, became a conservative, and this country is better off because he did. He'll be missed, as they say. Barry, thanks.